Hello everyone, welcome to Laravel. My name is William Jum. In this video episode, I would like us to talk about Filament Wizard, the form wizard, which enables us to create a multi-step form very easily. I would like to create a simple multi-step form using the user model, which we have here. So I'm going to just create a user resource, and then we will go ahead and create the wizard. So we will run the command php artisan make filament resource, and the name of our resource is going to be user resource, like that. So we hit enter. Now we have our users resource here. So when we click in our users resource navigation item, when we come to a place where we need to create a new user, obviously we do not have any details within our form. So let us go ahead and create a wizard. And of course, for this user's resource, we only need the name of the user, the email, and the password. But I will put the three of them in different steps within our wizard. So let us go ahead and see how we can do that. So when we open up Filament, we have the user resource, and most of the times when we are working with the user resource, this is where we usually place the form. But in this case, because we are creating a wizard, we will not place our form here, but we are going to go inside the user resource directory, which contains three more files: create, edit, and list. We will click on this create user file. That is where we are going to have our wizard. So what we are going to do is to have a protected function get steps. The return type is an array, and inside here we are going to return an array of values. And as we have this, it is good for me to also remember to above here import has wizard. So we will have use has, like that, and then ensure that we have imported it above. So we are going to import filament resources pages create record concerns has wizard, this one. And after that, we can go ahead and have our wizard. So we will have the first step. So we will have step make, and here we can pass in the name of that specific step. So in this case, we can say we are actually requiring the name of the user, because that is basically what it is that we require. And here we can have a description. Maybe we can say please enter your name. After that, we can have a schema, and inside this schema we can be able to have our input. So the only input that we have here is actually a text input for name. So text input make name, and we can say it is required. Probably we can give it a label of name, and I believe that is good enough. Then we can go to the next step. So I'll just copy everything that we have here and just have a comma and paste what we have copied above. So the next step, we want email, and here we can say please enter your email address. Text input email and label email. Maybe we can pass in that the maximum length is 255, and we also want it to be a valid email address. We can also pass it that we need it to be unique, like that. So anything that we would like to pass in here. So unique in the users table for a column called email. So basically that is what we can have in that section. Lastly, we can still copy the same. I think I already copied some time. So we can just have a comma again here and have the last step. And here we can say please enter your password. So this will be text input password, and it will be required. The label will be password. We can also say that what it is that we require is a password, and this password is revealable, something of that sort. So basically whatever it is that I'm passing here just flags that you can be able to pass in a form. And I think our wizard is set. But remember, when we use text input, we have to import it above here. For me, my machine is importing for me automatically, so it's good for me to just show you that you actually require to do that. So after that, I have saved, and remember in our form we have nothing, so let us try and see if now we can be able to have a form when we click on the create user button. So just refresh. Now you can see we have a nice form with several steps. So in this case we have name, email, and password. And the reason why we are having password being shown at first here is because there is a mistake. And let me just go and correct it. I have not named the last one correctly. So the last step I've named it name. That is why that value is appearing within the same name field. So this one I will call it password, like that. So basically that is that. So I refresh again and see. So we will have single entry in each and every of the steps. And of course, if you want the steps to have several columns, you can be able to directly in each of the steps. For example, for the name step, we can be able to just say the columns maybe 5. And so what it is that you're going to see is that this name field will not span the whole length. It will now change and span a shorter range here. And now we can be able to have 5 other inputs and so on and so forth. So you can be able to work with that according to what it is that you desire. So let us go ahead and see if we can be able to create a user. So I will just refresh to pick the changes and attempt. So we have a user called James, maybe, and we will click next. Now you see this name step has been ticked, meaning we have successfully been able to work with it. Then we go to email. If I click next without filling in the email, now you can see it's telling us the email is required because we did set that the email is actually required. So we can have James at example.com. Then next, we will input our password. And I would like to attempt and see if we can actually create our user. And obviously, as you can see, it seems we actually have a user in our database. So ideally, we do not have the names being displayed, but if I can go to our user resource and be able to have the text columns, we can be able to have those users. So here we can just have text column make, and we have name, like that, and then we can copy the same twice. So we just need the name and email because the password field we will not be in a position to show it. So we have email, like that. And if I'm to refresh, now you can see that we have our name and email. As we have been able to see in our form, the steps are not skippable. So if you would like to customize and make the steps skippable, you can come again to create a user or maybe create record, file, and inside here you can have another function, public function, has skippable steps, and this is a boolean, and you can return true, like that. So once you do this, then you make your wizard able for somebody to be able to move freely through it. But remember, the challenge with that is that there is a possibility they can be able to submit empty values in some of the fields if the fields are not required. Thank you very much for following this video tutorial up until this point. If you like the video, give us a thumbs up. If you are new to this channel, please consider subscribing. And if you have a comment, a compliment, a question, you can be able to shoot in the comment section below. Thank you very much.